Does she say no Adam?
I don't know. Oh, he's having a lick. So, yeah. All right. So we don't have to do any of that. Cost of living in paradise. Apparently our mics are on. They show to be muted.
What?
She said our mics are on, but they show to be muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we stopped talking, so.
Mm-hmm. And I can't hear us through the earbuds.
She said she'll have to fix in the studio. So, note to self.
Well, the camera must have its mic on.
Oh,
So there's something to crap.
yeah. She was trying to spy on people. That's what it was. Turn the mic on the
Right.
camera.
See what they're talking about there. You're on 3, right?
Did it?
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Got the blind leading the blind here this
Yes.
morning. But we're going to limp our way through.
Absolutely.
Welcome to NTX AM Vibes with Bree and Kim today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Good morning.
I know. This music's fun.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh. It is so cold outside.
But so warm in here.
It is so warm in here. Now if I can just get my nose to stop running from it being cold,
Yeah.
all would be right.
Good morning, Wednesday, guys.
Yes. It's going to be a good day.
It is going to be a good day.
Feel it. I slept good last night, so it's going to be a good day.
I did not.
No?
It took me forever to go to sleep. I don't know. My brain was on, but it wasn't really on anything. It was just like I wasn't thinking about anything specific.
Yeah.
I just kept tossing and turning.
Oh,
I was just like,
I hate that.
But the past 2 nights, I've slept like a rock and had crazy vivid dreams both nights in a row. So I guess it decided that was enough.
No more sleep for you.
Yeah, apparently.
So I love a good national holiday.
Yeah.
And I like all the fun random ones too.
Uh-huh.
So with it being the 22nd, it's National Blonde Brownie Day. So blondies, which are it's kind of like a butterscotch brownie instead of a chocolate brownie.
Guess I need to have some of those.
They're so good. And Answer Your Cat's Questions Day. How is that a thing?
I don't know that I want to know what kind of cat question there is.
I don't mean either. I don't have cats, so that one doesn't apply to
me.
me.
I do not prefer cats because I don't necessarily like anything that shits in the house.
Yeah.
But when I met my wife, she had 4 cats.
Oh no.
And all 4 cats moved in with us, and it was not fun for me. But they have all since passed, which is sad.
Sad.
I mean, I did grow to love them, and I do like cats. I just don't want to clean up shit in the house that doesn't go down the toilet.
Yeah.
So,
no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, Tiffany's saying something is wrong.
What's wrong? I don't know.
I don't either. Did we? Okay,
we're live.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
What more do we need?
I know. Alyssa says thumbs up. So
okay. So maybe Tiffany, it's you.
Yeah, Tiffany, it's just you.
Oh my gosh. And it is National Come In From the Cold Day.
Yes.
Which is always good.
Yes.
Dance of the Seven Veils.
Dance of the Seven
I
Veils.
don't know what that is. I don't know. It's an international... it commemorates one of the momentous events in the Bible, the execution of John the Baptist.
Oh.
So why is it called a dance? Oh, okay.
I think I need to write that down and research that more.
Yeah.
Dance of the
Seven Veils. Yeah. It's National Grandpa Day. So if you got your grandpa, call him.
Mm-hmm.
And library shelfie day.
Oh.
So go take a selfie with the library shelf.
Oh.
Library shelfie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Which is good because there's some events coming up at the library here in Burleson.
Today, actually, so you can go get your shelfie today from 6 to 7 at the library, Burleson Library, for they're doing a human trafficking awareness, which has been on my mind a lot lately. When I first heard the term human trafficking, my brain was not, number one, really, I didn't think it was a USA kind of issue.
Right.
And I also thought it was more like children's slaves kind of thing, working in sweatshops.
Yeah.
I was not necessarily understanding that it was like sex trafficking more and not just children, but young adults and that kind of thing. And so anyway, it's just apparently they're having a awareness, an hour baby question and answer with a Homeland Security person, I believe.
Okay. And that's from 6 to 7 tonight?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the library also has, if you like to give back, on Saturday from 9 to 11, they're doing it's called the Great Give Back, and it's how to volunteer in the area in Burleson and all that kind of stuff. So if you like to volunteer and do those kind of things, the library has some stuff going on.
The library has great programs.
Yeah. I have not been to a library since I left college.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, they do so much. So back in October, they had it was like a teen movie night. So like once a week, they would show like some kind of Halloween movie for the teens. They have a great teen program. And I say teen, it goes from 10 or 11 to 17 years old.
Okay.
So you can take your kids, and I took my oldest and I dropped him off, and I was like, okay, I'll be back when the movie's over. See ya.
How fun.
So, but yeah, they're always doing things for the kids, and I know they have all those like like walking, reading a book things. Like they post little signs like around Bailey Lake. So like as you are walking, you're reading the book. Like they have a sign that stops and it's like so many pages and then you continue on.
Interesting.
So it gets people outdoors and reading. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
But that would throw me off. Because I stop.
Yeah.
And read it. And then I'd be like, I don't want to keep walking.
See, and I'm the opposite. I'm like, let's just walk.
Yeah.
I'll read at home.
Yeah.
Well,
that's my point. Yeah. Once I stop, I'm like, okay, but I want to go and get my miles in and walk and do all the things. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're still trying to
figure out what's going on.
She said for us to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Then. And you said you're going to the stock show today?
I am. I'm meeting my best friend up there, and we're just going to see the vendors and the livestock and walk around in the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. We typically go every year to the rodeo with my father-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've gone at least the last 6 or 7 years, if not more. And just the rodeo part. And usually we get like an hour of the vendors, whatever. But she needed a day without her 2-year-old and adults and that kind of thing. Yeah. So she took a day off and said, let's go. And I said, okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I've not been to the stock show in years. I think the last time I went, my oldest was like 3. We took him, and he loved like the little petting zoo in there, with baby goats and the ducks, and he was ready to take them all home. And I was like,
get him an FFA.
Yeah, I need to. Well, we homeschool, but we can still be a part of the Johnson County 4-H and all that. Yeah. So we've got to look into doing that. It should be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. Things that they do with it, like I think I was on the radio yesterday about the things that those students go through to prepare the livestock to show them and everything, and the cleaning.
I think that's my favorite part is when you walk by and the cows are all so fluffy. They're blow drying them, and the cows just look so content. Like, yes, this is what I live for.
I'm getting pampered. I mean, literally, it's a cow spa day.
It is, and it's so fun. And some of those cows are so massive.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I didn't realize, I mean, I grew up in the city. I'm not a stranger to farm life, but I guess seeing a cow that close, I was like, these things are huge. And then you fluff up their fur and they look even bigger. Oh my gosh.
I actually experienced, I guess last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, the cutting horse part. So usually when we go, we just go to the rodeo, but my brother and a couple others that we knew were competing in the cutting horse. And then my brother was also doing like the team roping, but it was for the horse, it is different. So when you're in rodeo, Derek goes and does team roping where your time is important for you winning.
Yeah.
When the one that he was doing at the stock show was the horse wins. So it's all about how the horse reacts to doing their job. And the cutting horse, and watching that, I've never seen a cutting horse.
It's crazy to watch. Yes, I saw it for the first time a couple of years ago.
And the people, I mean, the riders, if it's a good horse, they're just sitting there. I mean, like holding onto the horn, just watching them go.
The horse knows what to do.
I'm like, they're just gonna skid out.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the event we went to, there was people from Yellowstone was there. So, like, I think Taylor Sheridan was there. There was a couple of other people there. And it was kind of crazy to watch. I was like, what is horse cutting? Like, I'm like, gonna cut it up. Like, I don't know. My husband.
I grew up in rodeo and oil and gas, so I was around men mostly in my life. But anyway, the rodeo world was always so fascinating. But I never understood how much a horse can cost.
Yeah.
And then those cutting horses are even more, because when my brother bought a horse in, I don't know, like I had just turned 21, so whatever year that was, 2001, he bought a $25,000 horse to team rope on. And I was like, I thought that was expensive.
Yeah.
Because he was training 2- and 3-year-old horses and selling them at the auction for like $2,000-$3,000. And then he goes and buys one for $25,000. And then I see these cutting horses that are worth $500,000.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's more money than sense to me.
Yeah.
But that's why it says the 10 owners of this one horse.
Yeah, because nobody can afford it by themselves.
I'm excited for this year though, because I don't know. I guess maybe because Braden is old enough, because he goes with us every year. He's 14, my kid, and he is really starting to ask questions and learn things and all that kind of stuff. And I get to tell all my rodeo stories from. Nice. Yeah,
I'm terrified of horses.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
they make me nervous.
Well, I mean, I can understand that.
To me, that is a wild animal, and you never know what a wild animal is going to do. Like if I flinch the wrong way, like it's no.
Well, you either walk. What I have learned is you walk and hold your hand on their hip and walk as close to them as possible if you're behind them, or walk as far around them.
Well, I'm going to walk far.
Well, some cases you can't. Like when you're walking through, like at the team ropings, and you're just walking down the alley just to go to the concession stand, you have to walk right by them because they're just standing there tied up to the fence.
Yeah.
And so, you just learn it, but it can be scary. They're huge. I mean, I've been kicked. I pushed steers for the team ropings a few times, and I'm pushing like 200 steers through this alleyway and into the snake. And there were 2 or 3 times that a couple of them jumped up and bucked me, hit me right in the square in the thighs. And
but that was a pretty bruise.
Yeah.
That's why it turns all the colors.
The bruise actually was not the worst part. It was smelling like steer shit all day long, and taking your clothes off at the hotel because you're at a hotel to work this, and not being able to wash your clothes, and you hide them in the bathroom because the stench is just astronomical.
Yeah. My husband, he was he knows how to like cut the hoofs down, and like reshoe and all that. I don't. There's a name for it. I can't think of what it is. But he was learning how to do all that with a friend of his.
Farrier, I think.
Yes, that's the word. And the guy he was learning with, like, I don't know, this horse got pissed off and like bit him and like picked him up by his shoulder blade. And I was like, I'm out. I'm not. No. See, wild animal. You never know what it's gonna do. I just nope. That's too much.
See, I'm more scared of wild dogs than wild horses.
Well, yeah. I guess.
So the other thing that's going on in Burleson, this one is at the Brick, is City Fest on the 6th, February 6th from 4:30 to 7. They're supposed to have like bounce houses and fun stuff for the kids, but it's also to tell about what the city has planning for 2025.
Oh, okay.
So that sounds fun. That's a longer event. That's more for.
I'm wondering how that's going to work because they're remodeling the Brick.
Are they?
So yeah. So and they've got like the lobby and stuff is like parts of it are still under construction and. So I'm wondering.
Haven't been there in years.
I guess they're probably going to do it in the gym. I would assume. Maybe. I don't know.
That's usually where they have their big events, like when Santa comes. They've done that in the gym.
Okay.
So
I guess there's going to be different departments there and city officials.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A safety demonstration. Whatever that is.
What kind of safety? Like,
I know.
When we go the hallway and hunker down for a tornado or
put the book over your head.
Like, what is this book going to do? I mean, I guess
nowadays they just don't send kids to school if there's supposed to be bad weather.
Yeah.
No, it looked like the picture. It looked like a firefighter.
Oh, okay.
Like probably
first responders.
If a fire in your house or whatever. Yeah.
Cool.
Which I think is good for kids to know. And I know that every summer for incoming 5th graders, the fire department puts on a junior fire academy.
Really?
So they do 2 sessions. They do one in June and one in July, I believe, and they only take like 12 kids each time. So, but it's a lot of fun. My oldest did it a couple of years ago, and he had a blast. Like they get their own little uniforms, and they teach them. Like you got to be quick putting it on, and here's how you put your boots to stay in your pants, and all this stuff. And they get to the training tower that's over there off of Renfro. They get to go and do that. They get to use like the big jaws of life, and they get to cut up a car and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
I wish I would have known that when Braden was that age, but
I know.
Yeah, my wife is actually you don't say retired because she was just a volunteer, but she was a volunteer firefighter at River Oaks for about 4 years.
Okay.
So that's a fun world. And Of course, she was the only female, and that was also entertaining for her. She'd get away with saying some of the stuff, and then the guys would be offended by her saying it, and then the captain would be like, you just said something worse.
Right.
You're just a man, so it's fine.
So, yeah, we're good.
Yeah. But we like watching all of those fire shows, and then she starts piping up, you're not supposed to do that.
So my husband's a first responder, and I struggle to watch some of the first responder shows because he's like, that's not realistic. And I'm like, can you not overanalyze my show? Just let me enjoy it. Now he will watch, there's a couple he will watch with me that he's gotten invested in. So I'm like, all right. So we watched Chicago PD. He's good with that one.
Love all three of the Chicago's.
Yeah. I'm way behind on Fire and Med. I haven't watched any of the current seasons, but I'm caught up with PD.
We're not caught up. We've been binging them. So
and then we really enjoy The Rookie.
That's what we just started The Rookie, I guess, a week or so ago. Well, when we were stuck at home for the ice, that's when we started The Rookie.
It's funny. Yes. I like it. Yeah.
I love him because he was the guy on Castle too, right? Yeah.
I think that's how he found it. So he was watching Castle, and then he saw here's Hulu was like, here's other shows that these actors are in, and so he was like, oh, okay. So he watched the first 5 seasons, and he's like, hey, you should come watch this show with me. And I was like, you're 5 seasons in. He's like, I'll start it over. It's fine. Which is the same thing I do sometimes. I'm like, I think you'd really enjoy this, and he's like, okay.
I have a hard time starting it over, but
yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's watched Grey's Anatomy 13 times. All the seasons. She just sits there and watches
the first several seasons multiple times, but when they started doing the COVID shows, I was like, I'm out. I'm living this. I don't need to watch a show about it.
Now I go back when we're watching shows that went through the pandemic, and I like the ones that they just have a couple of episodes that covers it. And
but I feel like Grey's stretched it into half a season.
Yeah.
I was like, do we really have to?
They're wearing their alien suits for that long or whatever.
Yeah. Because how long do we have to watch Meredith Grey lay in a hospital bed? Come on. I get it. She's dreaming of all the people that are there and not there. But come on. Yeah. It could have been wrapped up in a couple of episodes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, man. Oh, I love a good TV show.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I go to find something new, I try to find something that has multiple seasons because I don't want to watch just 1 or 2 seasons.
I know. It bums me out because then I love it and I want to watch more and I'm like, there's no more.
It's done. Or it's been canceled and I didn't know it when I started it.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a couple of them that I have put in my watch list so that when another season comes up, I will, because I don't, it's hard but back in the day, we were only allowed to watch one episode
at a time
every week.
Oh, and we've definitely been spoiled by the streaming services.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So last week on Wednesday, so we don't have Adam today. How many minutes we got?
No, we don't.
But last week was the Wellness Wednesday, and we had Adam, and apparently because of how we had a question of what something to do or make a decision at the end of the year or whatever that will change you or something. I don't remember exactly what he asked, but of course I didn't make Tiffany answer, and I'm a little disappointed in this, but we had to say something that would stretch us or challenge us or something and I apparently committed to the Susan G. Komen 3-day thing. And it comes up because Alyssa and I through high school, which Alyssa is your best friend, and y'all have your tea show on Thursdays at 7.
At 7. Mm-hmm.
Her and I, and throughout high school, would run the Susan G. Komen 5K in Fort Worth every year. And it was always me having to push her along a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Be like, come on, Alyssa, let's go.
I totally understand that.
And now she is in going through chemo for breast cancer as it is. So I talked about the 5Ks that we used to do, and Adam apparently threw that at me that that's what I was committing to doing. So I reluctantly agreed, just because in honor of this is something that Alyssa and I used to do back in the day. And now that she's going through it and experiencing it, it's, we're not just doing it for her grandmother like we used to.
Yeah.
It's now for her.
Yeah.
So it's in October, which the 5K was always in April. I believe. I'm almost positive. It was always in April. But anyway, the 3-day is in October and 24th through the 26th. And now I'm not doing the 3 days. I mean, I could physically.
Isn't it like 20 miles a day?
Yes. It's just and I just struggle asking for money from people. Like I posted about my kid helping people around the house to earn money for his Washington, D.C. trip. But to me, that's he's earning it. I'm not asking for money. Right. But still, like this is.
You got to fundraise.
Yes. My brain is just like, it's hard to talk to people about their money because it's such a, I don't know, taboo thing when I was raised.
It still is. Yeah.
It's hard. So anyway, day 1 is $750 raising. So that's what I'm committing to is that one. I just wonder if you have a team, does the team raise $750 together? So if I got multiple people,
right?
Or is it each person has to raise $750 even if you're in a team?
Okay.
So I tried to look online and I couldn't figure it out. But anyway, so that's what I'm committing to. So if anybody else is willing to do 20 miles in one day, and it's just walking, you don't have to run it.
Yeah, you don't,
because I've never run that many miles.
No.
I think I've run maybe half a marathon in my lifetime at once.
Yeah.
But never as a run. Maybe 10 miles is the most I've done. I don't know. Anyway, so that is October 24th through 26th. So I've committed to do that for Alyssa.
Nice.
And I'm beating myself in the head. Damn it, Adam.
It's all Adam's fault.
It's all Adam's fault. And he's not even here to defend himself. Poor guy. He's having technical difficulties down in the Dominican. I guess Tiffany said that's the price you pay for living in paradise. We won't have him in the second half. But we still cheer on Adam and his how to be naked. How to look good naked. Whichever one it is.
What are y'all doing in here in the mornings?
Well, I haven't had any caffeine yet, so I'm not sure. And I was up early to get the kid to school. So yeah.
That's one thing. I don't have to set an alarm because we homeschool and my kids get up when they get up.
So how old are your kids?
My oldest is 12 and my youngest will be 8 this year.
Okay.
So they are 2nd and 6th grade.
Okay. So homeschool's totally different than when it was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, it was like a stigma, and anybody that was homeschooled, they were crazy lunatics.
It was the weird family. Yeah.
And they didn't know how to interact with people. And
I still don't think my kids know how to interact with people, but it's, it's not, it's more normal nowadays than it was when we were younger.
Yeah.
So.
I do have a friend that has 6 or 7 children. I can't remember how many they have now. They had like 6 girls and then finally got a boy. They homeschool, but they do a lot of the co-op stuff. So and then our neighbors who I actually went to high school with too, they have a family of 7. So that means they have 5 kids.
Can you hear me?
They are homeschooled as well. And they do co-op where 2 days out of the week they're going and seeing people or whatever. So, which that's totally different. And I think they even have sports now, right?
They do. So I know that the Johnson County Sports Association will take homeschool kids. And then you've got things like the I-9 sports and the Burleson Youth Association.
Yeah. Well, that's normal rec stuff. Yeah. Do they have, I feel like.
I want to say that there is, I think once they reach the high school level, they can get in with the ISD stuff.
Oh, okay.
I haven't looked fully into that because we still got a couple of years before that. But my kids, they go to swim twice a week and, see other kids and whatnot. And they've got friends and other families. I mean, they don't homeschool, but they play online games and stuff with them. And
Braden does all online.
All the Fortnite.
The VR and talking to these people.
Oh, we took the VR away. They were not having fun with it.
Really?
They were like they were arguing with people online and always talking about banning people and getting banned and all this. And I wanted to play and you're going to drain the battery and blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, take it off. Put it. I'm sick of it. And things have been so much more calm now since we took it away. So we're just not going to give it back.
I walk in I have an only child, so there's not any of that having to share or whatever, but I walk in sometimes and
even when I don't walk in and I can just hear him, because I can hear him. I make him do it in the garage.
They're loud.
Yes. And he will correct the people. Like if they say something he doesn't like that's inappropriate or whatever, he'll tell them. Yeah. He's like, don't say that. Or especially if I walk in, I've heard him say it several times, but outside of me walking in. So it's not just him covering for me kind of thing. It's also, he's like, I don't put up with it, you know?
Well, that's good.
And so, but they do a lot of, don't let him in or something. Like, that's crazy.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back shortly. So refill your coffee. Wrong show, Kim. Wrong show. Go get some coffee. We'll be right back.
Hey, travelers. Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820. Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Welcome back, you guys.
Hello.
So we got this super fun link that Tiffany sent to us. It's called Culture Map. So it's fortworth.culturemap.com. And it's got things going on around town. So I clicked on it and I was looking through. Billy Idol is coming to town.
Yay!
On May 7th with Joan Jett.
Oh, Joan Jett too?
Mm-hmm.
How fun.
They're going to be at Dickies Arena on the 7th. I think that would be an awesome concert to go to.
I wonder if it's sold out.
I don't know. I mean, May's coming up quick, I would think.
Yeah. Oh, May. For some reason, I was thinking you said February, and I'm like, well, May. Yeah. But yeah, May 7th for Dickies.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fun stuff on here. Like here, they're talking about all the openings and closings of Fort Worth restaurants, and here's the 8 best food and drink events in Fort Worth this week.
Events? Not just food and...
Yeah, so the stock show and rodeo, obviously. On Wednesday, that's today. I never know what day of the week is. There's something called Smoke Out Injustice Day at Cheba Hut. I don't know.
What is Cheba Hut?
It's a sandwich chain.
Okay.
So CHEBA. Cheba? That's how I assume that's pronounced. Apparently, it's an annual event where it's a donation of $2 for entry fee, and you get any salad or sandwich sold in the shop.
It's for Last Prisoner Project, which supports those doing time for nonviolent weed-related crimes. Yes.
Well, that would make sense on the smoke out. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So,
nice.
Tomorrow there's a crafted mocktail making class.
Oh.
So I guess a lot of people do dry January.
Yeah.
I do not, because I'm not a quitter. No, I'm kidding. That sounds really bad. But no, I've never done dry January, but I also don't go super crazy over the holidays.
Yeah. See, we went super crazy over Thanksgiving when we were in Colorado with my brother, and we took a step back from alcohol for a good while. But we haven't necessarily done dry January. But Alyssa's doing no alcohol.
Yep. It's
hard going out still.
It can be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't go out a lot anyway. Like yesterday, I kidnapped her and just brought her to my house. I was like, sit down.
Yeah.
She sat there and she read and I did school. And so, I was like,
yeah. Well, but just in social settings. And for a while there, I had cut back before, and I would ask the bartender for a rocks glass with either soda and water, or so that it looked like I was still drinking with everybody else. And not that I have the pressure of it, but it's just
well, I feel like when you tell people like, oh, I'm not drinking, they're like, why?
Yeah.
Like,
are you pregnant?
Because
or
I don't want
is
to.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that shouldn't be a question. Somebody's like, oh, I don't drink, or I'm not drinking.
Good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to go out and drink, you know?
Absolutely.
But now, like, they have so many 0-proof alcohols.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought some 0-proof tequila to make margaritas with.
Really?
And it's not, it's weird. It doesn't taste bad.
Uh-huh.
And it smells like tequila, but without that burn. You know, like sometimes when you take a big whiff, you kind of get that burn.
Yeah.
The burn's not there, but it smells like tequila. It's actually pretty good.
I've wanted to try some of the ones that you see that are not alcohol, but they still have a relaxation.
The THC.
Things. I don't know what the different ones are.
There's some of those. There's a lot of it at Specs.
Really?
Yeah.
I see the TikToks and stuff that, like they're pouring a drink and they're like, this tastes just like wine, or just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Alyssa has some of I guess it's wine. I don't know. It's kind of like, it smells like bubble gum, but it doesn't taste like that.
Okay.
Like it's kind of sweet, but it's kind of got that like tartness to it. Like it's hard to describe what the taste is.
Yeah. Is it supposed to go in like a mixer? I mean,
we mix it with just mineral water.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have a couple of different versions of that, and then I know that they have a lot of the seltzers.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a whole in cap display that had so many flavors of the infused seltzers.
So, but if you said THC, it's actual THC infused in Texas?
I think so.
Or is it?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because obviously THC is not legal in Texas yet.
Right. But yeah, we have all these
CBD
shops.
Stuff. Yeah. Well, it's all CBD.
Okay.
Which there's a chemical difference, and don't get me to lying and understanding, but apparently it's before it buds or something, and you gather it or harvest it before. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I'm not going to be a professional.
Yeah, no, I have no idea how that works. But yeah, I know. What is it? When the first what was it? Colorado legalized it first.
Was it Colorado?
I want to say yes.
Possibly. Yeah, it was one of the first ones. I know. My brother's lived there since 96.
So, but I feel like if they can, I mean, you can't really control if they go and buy edibles, how much of it that they eat. But I just, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
They do control how much you can buy at once, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that should be controlled, but I also feel like there's no limit on how much alcohol you can buy at one time.
Right.
Like how many people out there have a problem with alcohol? And you've got the DWIs and all of that. And I don't feel like there's as much control on liquor as there is.
I had a government teacher at TCC. This was back several years ago, and she talked about it was a debate on alcohol versus weed THC, marijuana, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, how many bar fights do you see from alcohol? Mm-hmm. And then she's like, how many, and she would say, potheads, would you see fighting each other at the pothead lounge kind of thing?
The pothead lounge.
It was just trying to, the example of,
yeah,
that they're just more laid back and they're not, and so it was more, and the amount of alcohol related car accidents and alcohol related, domestic violence, and alcohol related. And she was like, it's just more, she said, in her opinion, it was more of a safe inhibitor, or whatever extracurricular activity kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting to see the government side of it or economic side of it.
Well, I don't think they have found a way that they can control it like they have alcohol. Like, you have to be 21 to be able to purchase and things like that. So, like, I don't think they know how to control it.
But they control cigarettes.
I know.
And
I'm like, so Tiffany said it's about reselling it. So I guess that's why they have a cap on how much you can buy at one time.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
That makes sense. Reselling it. But well, I don't know. I guess it's the same
it's very different now than when I was younger.
Yes. Yes, because I remember seeing the little baggies of what they would call skunk weed. And it was just
skunk
like
weed.
It was
trash
just like,
that nobody really wants.
It really looked like oregano.
Bag. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like
full
maybe
of
it was
stems.
mixed of.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, if you're listening.
My mom.
She'd have a fit if she knew I was talking about having experience.
Oh,
it's
no.
fine.
My parents were big hippies.
Oh, no. We were very sheltered. There was no alcohol in our house until Sarah and I were both grown and out of the house. And it really took Sarah moving back in for there to be alcohol in the house.
Yeah.
And
we didn't have it in our house until me and my sister became of age.
Yeah.
And then, like, my 21st birthday, like, I remember, like, when I was younger, my dad would drink a lot, and my mom was like, "You're done or we're leaving." And he was like, "Okay." And so he quit, and there was just no alcohol in our house. But then when I turned 21, my mom's like, "Let's have a beer." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're drinking." And then she's like, "Let's do shots of Jaeger." And I was like, "Whoa, Mom, whoa." So, like, every year on her birthday and the day that she passed, I do a shot of Jaeger.
Oh.
So I have a big old bottle in my fridge that will last me years because I only do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not 21 anymore. I cannot do shots.
Yes.
Like, I cannot do it.
As a bartender, I bartended at a few places.
Same.
And when you bartend at some places that are mom and pop kind of not regulated, they're not so strict about doing things. I'm not going to name any names so that nobody gets in trouble, but customers buy you shots. Well, I learned early on to take a clear shot every time because it could be water. I was just like, I don't know how many times you want me to have a shot, but holy moly, I'm having water this time.
Or you take a brown empty beer bottle as a chaser and spit it back into the bottle.
Oh, I never thought about that one, but I also was better off. I mean, in my opinion, you're wasting the alcohol if you put it in your mouth, spit it out. So might as well just make it water.
Yeah, true. I do remember one time I was bartending. These girls came up and they wanted shots of tequila. And I was like, okay. So I'm standing there. They want them chilled. I chill their shots. I get them, they've got their lime, their salt and everything. This little girl that I'm standing in front of, I say little girl, she was like 23. And she takes her shot and she like throws her head back and she spits it out across the bar.
Oh.
Back at me. And I'm just like, oh my God. I was so mad. I was like, you're done. Get out.
Yeah.
I was like, pay me, tip me 25% and leave. My manager was standing at the end of the bar. He was just like, I was like, what did you think I was going to like leap over the bar? He's like, I wasn't sure what you were going to do.
Now, getting shots when I'm not a bartender, so I'm not in control of them. We were going out with a few friends, and it was so funny because there was 3 of us that were not as well versed drinking as much as some of the other ones. They were ordering all the shots and they were bringing them for the whole table and everything. And I watched my friend Haley. She was one of our bridesmaids. And I watched her and I was like, she didn't take that shot. She threw it over her shoulder. And I was like, we named it the Haley.
Yeah.
And so we were our shots over. We were like, we can't hang.
I cannot.
And then
anymore.
we watched some show. Oh, it was the L Word. And it was the L Word reboot. And I think it was in one of the bars, she pulled a Haley and threw it over her shoulder. I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I know it's alcohol abuse, but holy moly.
Still, I mean, there comes a point, I feel like, and some people don't know, like when they hit that point, like they take that last drink, they're like, okay, I need to be done.
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel like it takes you a while to learn that. Mm-hmm. But there's still some alcohols to this day that I smell and I'm like, no, I can't.
Fireball is one of them. I never drank Fireball because it was not a thing.
My husband's not allowed to drink Fireball anymore.
But Aftershock is what I drank in college that made me upchuck all over the fraternity house. And it has that same cinnamon. So that smell just can't do Goldschlager, can't do any of those.
I don't like Goldschlager. No. I do. Alyssa does take a shot for her mom of it. And I do it for her, but because she'll do a shot of Jaeger with me. But I'm not going to voluntarily, let's go get shots of Goldschlager. No, I'm out. No, I'm out. I can't.
But those were the days of the Zima.
Oh, ours was Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or the black ice, and we would put Skittles into them.
See, we put Starburst in the Zimas.
See? Mm-hmm. It's not a new thing. We're just changing the drink and what we're putting in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel like, oh, God. Nope. I get the Captain Morgan's blackberry spiced rum.
That doesn't even sound.
Cannot do it. Good morning, Kathy. She's one of our listeners on High Tea. Yeah. But yeah, I cannot. I can't. I had one bad St. Patrick's Day. It was a mix of green beer and the Captain Morgan's, and then my boss showed up with a bottle of Patron, and I was like, let's do shots. And then I tumbled out of the car in my front yard and just laid there.
Yeah.
And my parents were out of town, thankfully, because it was not good. Like, the guys had to come back out and they're like, Kim, this cop has driven by 3 times. You have got to get out of the front yard. I was underage at the time.
Yeah.
And it was bad. And I had to go to work the next day. And I remember, like, I passed out on the toilet. And I woke up and there was just mascara everywhere. I didn't even fix it. I just went to work and they're like, oh, you look so bad. And I was like, I feel like crap. And they're like, go home. And I was like, okay.
I'm not going to argue.
I'm not going to argue.
Just don't smell me.
All I could smell was raw chicken. And I was like, I want to go home. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. I can't drink like that anymore, though.
No.
Like, I had the other
the hangovers last for 4 days.
Yes. What is that?
We're old.
Like, I used to be able to, you can go out and drink, boot, rally, and be fine.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, Like, I had 2 old fashions the other day, and I was like, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have a little bit of a heavy hand, but still, like, the next morning for like half the day, I was just like, I wasn't hungover, but I just felt slow.
Yeah. And heavy and and all you want is a cheeseburger.
Oh, greasy.
Whataburger.
We would do Jack in the Box tacos.
See, I'm not a fan of those tacos.
Well, when you're drunk, they're real good. Alyssa likes Jack in the Box tacos.
Yeah. I everybody around me always did. And I was just like, no. The shell is chewy to me.
Well, in the middle where the beef is, well, it's supposed to be, and it's crunchy around the inside.
No, it's supposed to be crunchy everywhere, unless it's a soft taco, and then it's supposed to be soft everywhere and not have to really, bite down and pull to chew it.
What did Kathy say? Put alcohol in your coffee? Yes, girl, have an Irish coffee. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Man.
Yeah. Good Irish coffee.
Well, going to the stock show today, we will probably have a beer or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Scam Likely's calling.
I know. That's always fun.
I know. One day we should just answer every scam likely on the radio and see what happens.
Yeah, just see what happens. We don't get very many of them at night, but I think we've had 1 or 2 and Alyssa's answered them. There's never anybody there.
Yeah, they take too long to answer.
Yeah.
So it's not always as fun.
Yeah.
Because you want to say the funny answer the phone, you know. But
oh man.
It's
all grease and meat. So gross is what Kathy says. But when you're drunk, they're so good. But yeah, no, Whataburger was another one.
Yeah.
That we would go and get the breakfast.
The amount of stories that me and my friends have, and not always me there, but of being in line at the drive-thru at Whataburger and showing your ass or being drunk and stupid in the drive-thru of Whataburger. I've seen some people be arrested. Luckily, none of us ever were, but it's
because Whataburger is slow.
Yes.
They have always been slow.
Some of them are slower than others, but like the one off of 35 and is it Everman? Everman or Sycamore, whichever one Whataburger is on. That one is super slow.
Yeah.
And I always think, well, it won't have as long of a line as Burleson, so I'll just go to that one. I'm like, I should have just sat in the line.
Would have been better going to Burleson. Yeah.
So, but there were so many comments about the Whataburger line in Burleson being so bad, and I think they've improved. I have not seen the line out to the street anymore.
I don't eat a lot of fast food, but everybody's always complaining. They're so slow. They're so, and I'm like,
they're fresh made though. Like they're made to order. It's not like it's McDonald's and it's sitting there waiting for you already. So it kind of should be slower than McDonald's anyway. But like I said, anytime I've driven by, because before they were lined up on 174 to get in several times, and I don't see that anymore. So I think they've gotten their act together.
Better.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. So, and I don't have the screw ups like people say, and I'm a pretty picky eater, and we never order just a number one. It's always got something changed to it.
Yeah,
and we don't have those issues.
I've never had issues when I've had that.
So, and I mean, me being a picky eater,
How picky are we talking?
Well, not as picky as my wife. But like I don't like mayo. I don't like mayo on anything.
Nothing.
No.
Okay.
I mean, okay. Deviled eggs, you got to put mayo.
Right.
Chicken.
But like if you're saying if you had your choice of a sandwich, your first option is not mayo.
No.
Okay.
No. It's usually either a combination of mustard and ketchup or ranch.
Okay.
Is what I put on a sandwich of some sort.
Okay.
And so most burgers, if they come with mayo, I even got, as picky as I am, I got used to wiping the bread off on the counter, getting it off. Or I've used a French fry a few times. You're in the car. That's all I got is French fry. I'm wiping it off. But I've not had any of those issues. So I don't know what people complain about.
Anything and everything.
Yeah, just to complain.
It makes me laugh. So I'm a part of all those like the Burleson groups.
Yes.
And I just troll through there and I just laugh because people are ridiculous. Like somebody posted a picture of these 2 teenage girls. She was like, these girls are cutting through people's backyards and blah, blah, blah. Well, the girl, I guess, saw it and she was like, actually, we weren't in your backyard. We were walking through the alley behind your house. But in the picture, she was holding a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. And I was like, oh my God. Like, you're like 16.
They still make that
They
stuff?
do.
That's
yes,
bad.
you can buy it at Bennett's.
Oh, wow. So it's not liquor level then? I don't know. I just remember it being nasty back in the day.
I never really drank that. Ours was always Boone's Farm.
We had Boone's Farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the college days. Yes.
Yep.
I just can't relive those.
No.
Every once in a while I try. It's never good.
There's usually one day a year when we get really, really drunk. And it's when we do our Christmas party because I make a big pot of Glühwein and mulled wine, like the warm cidery wine. So I make that and we drink that and we drink rum chata and then we drink, my husband drinks vodka tonics and I drink old fashions, and it just, we're taking shots and we're playing games and having a good time, and then the next morning we're both like, oh.
Yeah, Christmas party is the one.
But that's the 1 day a year that we kind of get out of control.
Yeah. That's my wife. Really, that's the only time that she lets go.
Yeah.
Because because when we have our Christmas party, we are either at a friend's house that we are staying at, and that's the agreed upon, or our house, we're staying there.
Yeah.
And anybody can always stay. Like, it's all, we encourage it. We have blow up beds and all that kind of stuff. But it's the one time a year that she will let go and just relax, and then we do all the shots and have fun and all that kind of stuff. And so, Christmas party is always that time for her too. So I love it. Christmas party is my favorite. This year I was so sick. I had a stomach bug for the 48 hours before. And so Christmas party was a letdown for us this year, but that's okay. Next year.
It happens. I think that's my favorite party of the year. Well, and we do a big party in the summer. We call it Murph Day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all 4 of us. Well, 3 of us have birthdays in the summer. My oldest, his birthday's 2 weeks after Christmas.
Oh.
So instead of having his birthday in January, we do it in the summer. So he gets with everybody else. So we have a huge party, big blowout. We rent a water slide and do all the things. And I don't like Jell-O, so I don't make Jell-O shots. I make pudding shots.
Our friend Deetra makes really good pudding shots.
Instead of I cannot do Jell-O. I can't.
She has both.
It's gross.
They're really good. I like Jell-O, but
I think it's a texture thing.
Yeah,
I won't even eat a Jell-O cup.
Oh,
my kids are like, Mom, can we make Jell-O? And I'm like, fine, I guess if you want.
Well, and she learned with the Jell-O shots to put them in the upside down.
Upside down. Yeah. So you don't have to
Yeah.
So
we've had it that way the past couple parties. And so I was like, oh, yeah, this is way better. Because otherwise, I mean, yes, some people have long tongues and can get all the way in there. But finger it.
Run your finger around. Nope.
But she makes some good pudding shots with, one of them is a mocha something espresso, or I don't remember, but she uses the Jameson cold brew.
I haven't had that yet.
Yeah, apparently it's really, really good.
No, I think last year I did, it was like a peanut butter cup. So I did chocolate pudding and I did screwball peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Those were really good.
Yeah.
And the kids are always like, so I have to make pudding shots for the kids that are just puddings.
Right.
I always put sprinkles on theirs. So I'm like, you guys can have all the ones with sprinkles. It's like, if it doesn't have sprinkles on it, you're not allowed to have it.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and they're usually fine with that as long as they get to partake.
We don't usually have kids at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Not necessarily on purpose. Braden was at the first couple that we had. But we just get so wild and crazy that most people don't want to have to bring their kids and, let them experience what we experience, whether they do, the crazy stuff or not. But yeah, so usually it's sitters, but Braden is sometimes there, and sometimes my mom's like, well, if you have your party, I'll take him and he'll go over there.
Yeah.
So, but
oh man,
fun times. Oh,
I'm ready for some parties this year.
The next party we usually have is the crawfish boil, which I don't know.
I've never eaten crawfish.
Really?
Never.
Do you want to?
I am not opposed to trying it.
Yeah.
But I've never had it.
See, I don't suck the brains out like some people do. Or suck the head or whatever.
I don't want to rip this thing apart and then suck.
No, I just eat the tails. But we usually have a big one. Daniel and Dieter they've listed their house. They're trying to sell it, and they live in Lake Worth, and they they actually have a house here that they've accepted the offer, and they're under contract and all that kind of stuff, but it's contingent to sell theirs.
Yeah.
And they listed it before the holidays. So I don't know that we will have a crawfish bowl at their house.
Yeah.
Because they'll either be in between moving or still trying to sell it. Hopefully they've sold it by then.
Yeah.
But it's a big shindig because
people do them.
Daniel has the big thingy. It's specifically for crawfish, and you open the lid and you can dump it out and all that kind of stuff. So it's big to do.
I'm not opposed to it, but I just my first thing is to be like, hey, let's have a party. Let's have a crawfish boil. It's not the first thing that pops into my mind. All right. Man. You guys will have a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Yay!
I'll come back anytime.
Absolutely. Bye.
You guys have a wonderful Wednesday.
This is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community.